We believe in what you're doing. And the only thing I have to say is you got to do more of it. If you think about what's really going on today and why some of the wacky things that are happening in politics are happening, is that too many people are getting up every day completely disoriented. They've been out of work for 6 months or more, the highest percentage in 40 years. People feel like their whole identity was caught up in being law-abiding, hard-working citizens who could support their families and raise their kids, and all of a sudden they can't do it, and people keep changing the rules. And it looks like the only people that are doing well are those that got us in the mess in the first place. Isn't that what people basically think? Now, the truth is that one of the few things that former President Bush and President Obama agreed on that nobody else likes is that they had to save the financial institutions from going down, and we've all forgotten why now. Because when it happened, every bank in America was at risk of failing. The biggest car dealer in America could no longer finance car loans. They'd been 3 days without doing it. It was about to get where you couldn't buy a refrigerator at Sears. So if they hadn't done it, the rest of the system would have come down around our ears, including the neighborhood units. So they did that. But now it's time to get down where people live and create jobs and opportunity and safety and shared culture and shared values. When we get out of believing we have a shared future and we have obligations to each other, we get in trouble. And this has been happening for a good while. You know, before this whole financial crisis started, on September the 15th, 2008, when Lehman Brothers failed, before then, 2/3 of American families had incomes after inflation that were already lower than they were the day I left office, because we weren't creating any new jobs. Because all of our growth was in finance and consumer spending and housing. There were no new jobs, there were no new projects, there was too little community and neighborhood development. What you do is what we need more of. You worry about too much partisanship in Washington? That's because there's not enough talk about what happens at the neighborhood level. If the streets are safe, you don't ask somebody whether the policeman is a Democrat or a Republican, and if the kids are safe, you don't care how their parents vote. We have to get back to the neighborhood and building up America from the grassroots up. So, I'm glad you're here, and I want your message to spread across America. One of the things I loved about being governor of Arkansas is it's a small state. You got to run the governor's office here like a country store. If the customers show up and they want you to serve them, you have to serve them. You can't haul somebody else out. And if you mess up, everybody knows you by your first name. You have no place to hide. And I really didn't know what a bad person I was till I moved to Washington, D.C. I didn't know I was supposed to hate all Republicans till I moved to Washington, D.C. I had one man working for me in the White House who'd worked for me for 10 years since he was a very young guy in the governor's office. And there was some really hateful article in the paper one day about me, and I saw him, I said, "Craig, what do you think about that?" He said, "They keep writing about someone I am unfamiliar with." I say that because it's easy when you're a long way away and there's a lot of people in between that have various interests in turning you into a cartoon instead of a human being. It's easy to perform reverse plastic surgery on people, particularly when it's tough. It's almost impossible to do that with your neighbors and your friends. So you're a big part of what we need to do for America. In ways large and small, you do things that commentators in Washington might deride as being little, but they have big impacts on the way people feel about their lives. And I'm just telling you, man, I've seen this everywhere for a long time. It was this way when I was elected. People are screaming, "Stop the world, I want to get off," because they don't think they've got a solid place to stand. Every time you strengthen a neighborhood, you help people live with confidence in the face of change. You give them a solid place to stand. You give them a little more permission, even in a tough economy, to look their kids in the eye over the dinner table and to believe that it's going to work out all right. It's still tough now, but America, one more time, is on the way back, and you can take us there. Good luck, and God bless you. Thank you.
Unapplaused. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. His past and present commitment to the community, to the neighborhood, to the grassroots, we are going to make him an honorary member of NUSA. So I have something for you.
Yeah, I can run him at it. It's summertime. What do you think? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Secondly, I was called and they said we are having President Clinton as our keynote speaker. And I began to wonder, what do you say to President Clinton? How do you give him an award? The man that had received the ultimate award as being President of the United States for 2 years, and so he's filled with greatness. On behalf of NUSA and as President of NUSA, I want to present him this award. I did a little background to determine what was apropos as it relates to his commitment to the neighborhoods. I think it was about 1979 when you, the One America initiative, and you talked about unifying communities. You talked about people should help each other, and I can't quote it verbatim, but the essence of it was so deep and so penetrating, I thought that was very appropriate. After leaving office, you came up with the Global Initiative. It's all about people helping people in the community. So I think that you're more than deserving of an award from NUSA, and I would like to present this to you on their behalf.
Thanks, folks.